Hello, you guys. Welcome to the Renting Shop. It's me, Melissa, and today we're gonna be reviewing the latest episode of Ready to Love. This is season 5, episode 3. So, today I'm just gonna get right into things. Let me get into my notes so we could begin. Alright, so we started off with a ladies' lounge. We learned that Ace was not really feeling the blind date that she was put on. And remember, she was put on a blind date with Cornelius. And although that date went kind of well, she wasn't feeling him like that. Okay, so the Kia. Now it's time for the couples to be introduced to 2 new singles, and the Kia is gonna go on one with, of course, the male single. The Kia is gonna be on a date with Eric, and Eric is a celebrity chef, and he got married extremely young. Now it's very rare in this kind of modern age that you hear of people getting married at 18, especially men getting married at 18 years old, because men are not ones to rush marriage. They're never the ones to initiate it. They're never the ones to really idealize it or romanticize it the way women do. So to hear a man getting married at such a young age, it makes me believe that he got, like, it could be like a perfect situation where he just fell in love and wanted to get married. But more realistically speaking, it seems as if he perhaps got somebody pregnant and felt like he needed to marry the person to make the situation right. And I will never understand this mindset, because I don't see how getting married corrects that. I mean, I understand it makes it better because the living situation is more stable. But if you're only marrying because you got somebody pregnant, I don't see how that makes sense. Like, to me, this marriage would never last because it's not built on anything solid. It's built on making a mistake of getting somebody pregnant at a young age, you know? So I don't really understand how people at church going people will tell you, make it right, marry her. That doesn't make it right. The mistake had been made. Marrying doesn't correct it. Marrying only, I suppose, stabilizes the living situation, but that's all it does. It doesn't correct it. It doesn't make it better. I guess church people think it does make it better, but to me it doesn't. It doesn't do anything other than kind of make it look good. That's all it does. So anyways, you guys, he got married at 18, has 2 adult children in their 20s, 2 females, 2 girls. He idealizes his parents' marriages like a lot of people do. Oh, my mom and dad has been married for 11 years. They still hug, they still kiss, they still joke. That's essentially what he was saying. He mentioned he was a systems engineer before becoming a celebrity chef, and she is a systems engineer and works for NASA, which is very, very impressive. It means that the Kia has some brains on her. She's not just this sexy cougar that you're making her out to be, because as I told you guys, this show gives each contestant a character that they follow. So I believe for the Kia, they've given her this sexy, cougar, sexual type of vibe. But that's not all she is. She is an educated, intelligent systems engineer who works for NASA, and that is very impressive. We also learned more. We learned that his uncle is suffering from cancer. He's currently in remission. And the Kia opened up about her struggle with ovarian cancer. And ovarian cancer is an extremely difficult cancer to cure, because typically people get it when it's really late. And she is really blessed to be here, because she mentioned she just had to take some pills, and then She's been cancer free for many, many years. 9 years, because apparently she's 39. Do I believe Takia is 39? No, Takia looks like she's closer to 60 years old to me. But if that's what she wants to say, then we have to respect that. But I do applaud her for still being here, the resilience, the care that you have to take in your body to be able to, catch something like ovarian cancer so quickly when it has not gotten really bad. It has to be commended, because a lot of people only go to the doctor when the situation is like presenting with severe symptoms. So I applaud her for that. She's definitely a warrior woman, and she is a woman to look up to. Absolutely. So yes, Cliff is the one that ends up meeting the other blind date. Her name is AP Austin, and she's a widower, and she says she's ready. She's ready. It's been 3 years, and she thinks she's come to a point in her life when it's time to invite love in. She's a holistic teacher. And then we learned a lot about Cliff. We learned that he's been married twice, has a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old child. So there's a lot of extremes here. He has a teenager and he has a toddler. So we know about terrible twos and we know about the teenage stage. So it's a struggle. Both stages are struggles. Took him a year to get himself together. After his latest divorce, AP is reminded of her brother as she looks at Cliff. So she's kind of turned off by him. I guess initially she was attracted to how he looked, but then the more I suppose she interacted with him, the more he reminded her of her brother. Now, somebody said, I think it was Miss Misha mentioned, why would you bring up the fact that he looks like your brother if you guys are trying to build a romantic connection? Well, that's very easy to explain. The reason why she brought it up is because the moment she realized that Cliff resembles her brother is the moment she was not attracted to Cliff anymore. It's very simple, I don't think she'd bring it up if she wanted to maintain a or cultivate a romantic connection with him. It's obvious that she doesn't see it with him, and that is why she brought up the brother thing, and normally when a partner looks like, or potential partner looks like a sibling or your father, it's kind of a turn off. So I think the lack of romantic connection there was quite mutual, because Cliff also wasn't feeling her either. She clearly sees nothing with him, he clearly doesn't see anything with her, and that's completely fine. Now, he mentioned it was a vegan restaurant that they went to. He's not vegan, so off the bat their lifestyles are not even aligning. So there's that. It didn't work. What I noticed though is that whoever they put on dates with the cast, they make sure that they have things in common. However, for AP and Cliff, I didn't really see much in common with them at all. If we look at Takia's date with Eric, they have so much in common. They have the cancer thing in common, and they have being systems engineers in common. But Cliff and AP, what do they have in common? They literally have nothing in common other than the fact that they have been married before, and that's it. So yes, I didn't see that connection there either. Eric is introduced via a pass and paint, where essentially you paint a bit of the thing and then you switch, you paint a bit, you switch and you paint a bit. It's kind of like a hectic environment to get to know people. It's kind of like speed dating but with painting. Cornelius picks on his cat Pimp. Joy doesn't take him seriously because you're talking about a cat. Anyways, Eric is feeling Ace, and Joy goes right into his job as a chef when he was speaking to Joy. Joy spoke about her being a singer. She shares that she is quite interested in Eric and sees him as a breath of fresh air. The Kia familiarized herself with Cornelius because she hadn't gotten that opportunity. The Kia shares her engagement story and the fact that just like Cornelia, she's never been divorced. Again, I can't believe that this woman is 39 years old. It seems like if she's 39, then I'm 3 years old then, because this is just crazy to me. She does not look 39. She looks way older. Now, she says she's open to kids, but I don't think she wants any kids. Like, I really don't think she wants any kids. However, when you state that you're open to it, you open yourself up to more options. When you adamantly close that thing of kids, you kind of limit your options, because a lot of men want children. Even though they still want as many as you would be willing to have with them. Cornelius wants kids, but does not like the idea of marriage. So why are you here? And that's the problem I have with this show, Ready to Love. It seems like these people are there, but they don't really want anything serious. I feel like they just come on the show to have fun. Like, I really don't think they want anything serious. Like, look at Cornelius. Initially, you're thinking maybe, and then you find out he doesn't want marriage. So what is your point? You want to have kids willy-nilly, just having kids everywhere? Like, I don't understand. Why are you even here, Cornelius? Go home at this point. Because if you're not seeing anything that will lead to marriage, why are you there? And I understand not everybody wants to be married, but Cornelius just gives off the vibe that he's just not serious, period. Sabrina and Paul, essentially, like, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Sabrina is not feeling Paul either. Okay, you see all these things that they do of making excuses. Oh, he's too this, or he's too that. Just cut to the chase. You're not attracted to him, you're not feeling him. And just say that. Okay? Talking about she doesn't want a business partner. She doesn't see him in... Essentially, you don't see him in a romantic way, and it's okay. You know, people like to make excuses about why you're not like fit for them, but essentially it all just, to me, narrows into attraction. She's not attracted to him, period. And that's just that. She sees him as a friend, more like a mentor. Okay, fine. AP, Laverne, Demetrius, and Joy go bowling. Paul says he's the best bowler, and he does pretty well. Joy is a flirt. And I remember this thing that Little Black Book did. He did kind of an analysis of the Kia, and mentioned that men don't quite like when women give off that sexual energy initially. What? Because they see it as, okay, you're a good time, but they don't see you as a long-term girlfriend or a long-term wife or a long-term partner, I should say. But and that is true, they have made the Kia this sexual cougar type of thing, as I said before. But clearly there's more to her than that. But with Joy, because Joy is the same, okay, Joy is a flirt. And she's into those nasty, flirtatious things. Like just last episode, she's talking about, and I should say she was encouraging the conversation that Tori was having with her about reaching her kidneys and stuff like that. She's laughing, she's giggling, she likes this kind of flirting. She encourages it. She is here for it. But nobody gives Joy that same energy that they're giving the Kia. Because Joy is into that whole type of conversation. She loves the flirty banter. From the kidneys to balls to touching Laven's butt. It's like, that's the energy that she's encouraging. And nobody's giving any flack for that. And I think the reason why is they're editing Joy a little bit differently than how they're editing the Kia. Joy is getting a better edit because I think she's gonna be there to the end. Joy is gonna end up being one of the last people that's gonna be on this show. I guarantee you. She's gonna be with Cliff. They're gonna ride off into the sunset and go into the reunion. But I don't know if their relationship is gonna last, because I definitely feel like although Joy is giving off this fun, loving energy, she comes across like she is a firecracker. And if anything pops off, she seems like the one that's gonna, I just don't know if I see long term with Cliff and Joy. They look really happy now. They look into each other right now, but I don't know if it's gonna last. Clearly, Cliff has his issues. We haven't delved into what those issues Cliff has now. I'm not saying that divorces are always like the person's fault or whatever, but there's two people in a marriage, and it takes two people to make the marriage work. And so the woman might have had her faults, but what were your faults? I haven't heard anything about what his faults were in the marriage. But we do know that he's been divorced twice. So I'm pretty sure Cliff has his issues. I just want him to be able to delve into that more, because we haven't gotten to that nitty gritty. We're only seeing the handsome Cliff and the attractive Joy, but we're not seeing the more in-depth things, the more problematic things. And I'm pretty sure there are problematic things with Cliff. For somebody that's been divorced twice, I'm pretty sure that you have issues too. So Joy is definitely a flirty type of person. She's down for that type of nasty sexual type of conversation. AP wants to talk to Demetrius, but she has to engage with Wiley because they all went on a sightseeing tour, and none of the women liked where they were seated. Both of the women wanted to have their time with Demetrius. Demetrius didn't seem like he was really engaging in conversation. He didn't even seem really interested to be in conversations with anybody. He just looked like his mind was elsewhere. Meanwhile, Sabrina and AP are trying to talk to him. And Sabrina clearly is all in with Demetrius. I don't think she finds anybody else as attractive as she finds Demetrius. And what else can we speak on? So Sabrina was forced to speak to Tori, and AP was forced to speak to Wiley. AP is not attracted to Wiley. She sees him as like one of her students. So that conversation kind of didn't go anywhere. I don't think anybody really wants Wiley. The only person that wanted Wiley was Tiffany. Tiffany's gone. Maybe we will see a connection for Wiley, but so far I'm not seeing it. I feel like he's too young for a lot of the women. And I don't think they really take him seriously. So then on Tori, Sabrina spoke to Tori, but she would have rather spoken to Demetrius. And Demetrius didn't seem like he was making any effort to speak to either of the women, as I said before. Maybe he's the type of guy that wants women to show interest in him and pursue him, because so far I've not seen Demetrius pursue anybody. Anyways, there's Joy and Cliff. So they're having dinner. They have this huge fish, and he tastes it, and turns out he's allergic to coconut. He seemed like he was fine. I don't know if it really affected him or not. She spoke about being raised by her dad, which is something we don't hear of very often. Her mom is from Trinidad, so I don't know if her mom is dead or alive. I don't know what her relationship is with her mom. If she's estranged from her mom, I don't know what it is, but she was raised by her dad. Cliff lost his dad. She lost her dad. So they kind of bonded on that. They all broke down years later. They see parts of each other in each other, which is good. I think they're pretty locked into each other. Joy also has sexually flirtatious energy that the Kia has, but she gets away with it. And I think it's because of they're editing her slightly differently, because she's going to end up with Cliff in the very end of the show. And I notice we see a lot of Joy. Like Joy we see Joy on most of the dates. We see a lot of Joy. So I feel like either production, whoever really likes Joy, because we see a lot of her, I must say. The women's lounge, Lavuna and Ace are connecting. So I guess I was wrong, and they are connecting behind the scenes. Carmen likes Cliff. Sabrina likes Demetrius and Tori. Precious likes Paul. The Kia is opening up her options to include Eric. The weaker connections with Wiley, Laverne, Cornelius was called a lot. But when people were mentioning Paul, Precious was defending her connection, period. And that's what you're supposed to do. Because unlike the other women, Precious sees and gets Paul, you know, and she that's what she wants. She wants somebody to add to her. Not to add to her, sorry. She wants somebody to come like how Paul is coming, you know, and so she's fighting for that. Cornelius, Joy, Precious, and Paul all go on dates, bubble dates they call it. Paul stood firm in the way he does things and threw it back at the women. Precious thinks the women are wrong about Paul. Do I think the women are going to be changing their minds about Paul anytime soon? I do not. Cornelius ended up being sent home. I just said essentially they just went into him. Plus, I don't think he was serious. So, yes, you guys, that was the episode. That was what happened. Next episode, they're going to bring in 2 more singles. We're going to see them in their bikini wear and stuff like that. Sorry for the late review. I was busy yesterday, but here I am. I did it. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys here for the budding connection with Joy and Cliff? Do you think that there's any other strong connections? I did a video exploring potential connections, and it seems like beside Joy and Cliff, there's also going to be a connection that is formed with Sabrina and Demetrius. And we're going to see how that goes. You guys, let me know what you think about this particular review. What am I talking about? This particular review. Do you like the couples that you're seeing so far? Do you like the vibe of the show so far? Let me know in the comment section. Like and subscribe, and see you guys next time for more videos and reviews from me, Melissa, in the Rantic Shop. Bye.